of November, 11:38 a.m., Supreme Court Adjudicator, Defendant Act Chamber. I really need to figure out how to say that. 5. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. Ugh. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I've been looking at you there. You were drenched in sweat. Your eyes were popping, your knees knocking, you were gritting out your teeth. Grinding out your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, I started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it. It's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Anyway, looks like we've exposed the Phantom Lady at last. Miss Jesseline Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him. Like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? Might not leave me overly confident in a courtroom. Well, my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentleman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Do you see what happened with that? Yeah, Ryunosuke would have seen her get escorted away, wouldn't she? Wouldn't he have? No, I didn't see any of it. I was on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. Just as then, I bent down and picked it up. Bang! Didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over me, looking white as a sheet. Bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. He stuffed Ryunosuke into the pantry? Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I shut in the pantry, I had no idea what happened outside of the dining area. Okay, that explains it. There you are. There you are. Well done, both of you. It's the professor for sure. Professor Mikatoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yeah, seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy, our justice system even more so, which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. Bang! Bang! I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then, it looks like all comes down to you, young men. I just love how the models like this have their heads just turned to you. That's actually pretty cool. To me? Yes. You need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Huh? Come to think of it, you said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't you? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Oh yeah, knowing the victim would make sense. Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMaine, and it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go back into bed. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and well known for that. Naturally, our government was looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. Let's not forget who we're going up against. A gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that your pair will put up a good fight right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Defendant Naruhodo. Defendant Naruhodo. Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. I hate these bailiffs. They're so rude. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow with those old fossils. Just call the judge an old fossil. Judge the prosecutor an old fossil. Kazuma's great. I love him. What? Thank you. Really? What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed in me, then I'm fairly sure I would have been found guilty by it. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely can't afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria at University. With an extra large portion, of course. Oh, good grief, Kazuma. 2nd November, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. Court will hereby resume the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Ryuichi, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Sorry? Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. Has nothing to worry about. Let the government scrutinizing what we're doing. They do it already. Who cares? It's highly unlikely that the good relations we've forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation's founder? Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written True. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government opinions, bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is that what our nation's judicial justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up! Shut up! You jumped up, rookie. You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation's finding itself in. Ooh, you got a Charmander, Soraka. Nice. By aligning ourselves with the great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in the Supreme Court, there is one thing that I feel very strong. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Heck yes, Ryunosuke. The judge is like, did he seriously just say that? Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror. You little brats! Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system, and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Jeseline Brett. Yes. Your Excellency! Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land. Tea. Someone bring English tea. In England, there's no discussions take place without tea. Oh, good grief. We're not in England. Is that true? No idea. So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hosoda. I've been working undercover as a waiter at La Carte. Yes, we already know about you already. Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. Is this gonna be a trend? It's like, is that true? No idea. More importantly, earlier today you said something. You said your powers of observation are one thing you're sure of. Oh yes, I think I did. Didn't I? Yet your description of the amazing sight was simply a what? Oh, good grief, Kazuma, really? Sorry, Ryunosuke, but your powers of observation aside, powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. Oh, so dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. She's probably speaking English, like probably in like this world, English, like Japanese, like All right, let's see if I can kind of explain where I'm. So we're reading Japanese technically here, but it's like translating English. So in Great Britain they speak English, so it's being like construed as gibberish because she's speaking in her native language. super sorry, dear lady, but... What? The lady says her name is Jessalyn Brett. She comes from London, England. She is a visiting research student, currently enrolled at UMA University's medical facility. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear a dialect tone of the delightful language of British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song. As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You'll obviously be able to find England, Kuzuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Alright, so that basically just confirms it. Like, we're technically like right now they're technically speaking in Japanese, but we can see it as English, because for Japanese, like you can clearly understand English. But it's like conversely, you're trying to understand another language, like you have no idea what they're saying. Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. Of course, thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there when the victim, Dr. Wilson, was a victim, Dr. Wilson, at that time. Is that correct? She says, yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that it was she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. You've already said you just let her out. Like, that means nothing. Interesting. You're the one you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau. Well now, dear lady, be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print. Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of this wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Apparently, it was very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it appears the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused standing right there in this courtroom shot the victim in cold blood. Here we go, round 3. Or round 4, however many rounds it is. Order in the court. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? We have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. No, it's not conclusive in the least. Well, looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of the frightening and sorrowful sight you described. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered myself only a beefsteak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. That's a bullcrap lie. That is a lie if I have ever heard one. Like, oh, I don't carry a gun myself, so I can't possibly be a murderer. I possibly couldn't have killed him. Bull roar.
Yes!
No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, black-hearted blackguard, and look at this Snow White angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine those words going out. Words to the I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe. Yeah. Beautiful woman or accused? You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're recorded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took the statements from this lady and had the two witnesses who testified before report back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. You're changing things! You're changing it! You said you got ordered to let her go because you didn't want her to be involved. Testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. How about inside that massive hat? I think she could have had a gun in almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Yes. Unless and until the precise location of where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Your hat. Your hair. Here. Those are the witness's own words on the matter. That's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress. Ryunosuke, no. You bad boy. Don't. Take your mind out of the gutter, Ryunosuke. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun. I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that. Which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. She grinned. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Yes, Your Excellency. Okay, I don't feel like this is necessary, so I'm not going to press it now, right now.
Yes!
What did she say the argument was? never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over and say hello. Please, don't get angry with me. No. I wasn't directing that retort at you. I meant the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? This wretch does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. English is the future. We must all speak English. English. I wonder if the prosecution would feel that way forever, or only in the presence of a beautiful woman. Well, a beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her story. How significant it may be. Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That part ties in with what you said, doesn't it? Yes, still had some coffee to drink. The next time you got up after that was when I finished my coffee and stood up to leave. Not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him before my eyes.
Yes!
Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. And like I said, there's no point in repeating the assertion over and over. Well, I wasn't expected to be attacked by my own side. Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out of the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand. Well, yes, that's true. But all I did was pick up the gun that I saw on the floor next to the professor as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at the time. A highly suspicious lady. That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel. Dirty? Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy. It seems to me their accusation is just as baseless as ours. What nonsense. The lady is merely stating what she saw. This is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. Yeah, it's already an international incident. Doesn't matter what we do now. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
Yes!
No. It's all very well saying, but can you prove it? Absolutely. I verified it personally. You verified it? Yes. Immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure this lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not." Okay, you asked her, but that does not prove it. That's all you did? You just asked her? Surely you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No. Why on earth not? The Honorable English gentlewoman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. There was obviously no need for any further probing into the matter. Yes, there is. There was a murder. Or there was no permission given for any further probing into the matter, perhaps. Think what you will. But if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that like concealing of a fire, the prosecution demands that you support your assertion with some facts. In other words, he wants evidence. Lydia wishes to point out that of course she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation, but she was in a hurry to give the presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Not to mention that the fact your office had told you to get the woman out of there. Not to get her out of there. I just urged her to leave. Lady would like to point out that she in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime. Which is why she is only too happy to cooperate and testify here in court today, of course. Unlike a certain student who refuses to commit when the game is up. You could at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you. No. Heck that. So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot her. It's an in and out. Totally unfounded lie. Still, her statements is very compelling. After all, she is elegant, refined woman, and beautiful gentlewoman from Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in a dull black school uniform. Dressed exactly the same way as you are, except for the flapping red ribbons. I hate to break it to you, Renosuke, but this thing's brown. It's very brown, not black. Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it is. If we can't do that, this trial's over. Even you, with your thick skin, must be able to feel the murderous look you're getting from around the room. Only too well. I feel half dead already. The fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony isn't making me feel any better either. The first thing I gotta do is impress her on any statements that seem slightly off to you. I've done that. So I should be inwards. Like, neither of those seem off. I've pressed on all three of these, I think.
Yes!
After 2 p.m. in fact. Quite a late lunch, isn't it?
Attention!
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are en vogue, isn't that right? No. Decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it's apparent a daily occurrence that they would do lunch together. Well, on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which would improve her medical report card submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why they were so late. Yes, it all makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence. This is a fine gentleman. So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next?
Yes!
He was unable to eat, you say. That was because of had a tooth removed at the Hada clinic, correct? That's right. I'm supposed to act naturally, check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of this fact? It seems so, yes. She heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying event. Then explain why he's sitting in front of this. Explain to me why Mr. Wilson is sitting in front of the plate. Hello? Exactly as it was left. Dear me, what harrowing experience. To have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right. Other than some carbonated water. So that's, and we have that bottle on a table. That's that bottle right there. I'm assuming that's what this is. But why is there no extra glass? That's the other thing. Objection! Alien spy. How's it going? Okay, I got two contradictions here. Just water? Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. Contradiction number 3. There's only one glass on the table. See, there's one glass. A single glass. There's no way he drank out of the flowers. A single glass. What do you think, Ryunosuke? By the witness's last statement. Very meaningful. The last statement of yours, Miss Brady, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing? The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well, sidestep, counsel. Very well. Miss Brett, kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she says. That was brilliant, Cosma. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. Could really use that phrase. I hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience in that, Ryunosuke. I ordered a beefsteak for myself, and the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. I have a problem with that! That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke with her showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, that is, it's odd. Very odd. Dear me. What's the odds of... Dang it, I hit the button by accident. What do you say? Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself. Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Brett just told us that she and a professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection!
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over a miniature? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the cake?
Objection!
Mutants, you say? Could it be the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can clink was only 1? It's in her hat. It's in her hat. She took the glass with her. He never knew about that second glass. You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was also terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying. But she already said she wanted to be a part of the investigation, but he let her leave and she had a presentation to do. Why is she so scared now? Good gracious. Zoe. Zoe. There. As I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. You must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray? That's absurd. Oh, really? So we take it that you're now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief? Huh? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that the small handbag she was carrying. The gun could have been in the handbag. She could have had a gun in her handbag. Another location. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. A small handbag pouch commonly carried by a well-to-do woman in it. So, the beautiful lady was very gracious and explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, that fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. Yes, it does. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning. But, in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removes the glass. I I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? I don't know, really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. There is a deeper significance. Oh yeah, didn't she say she did? She dressed it. There was no mention of the handbag until right now. But I don't like how it's not letting me point out. Like, he was moved to in front of the stake. Like, he was moved in front of the stake to make it look like he was the one doing it. Like, eating it. Like, why can't I point this? Maybe that's what, like, maybe I do have to pick the glass here. Because by removing the glass and, like, keeping the glass in front of... Wait. If she took her glass, this glass would be moved. This glass wouldn't be here. The glass should be on the other side because that's where he was sitting. He was supposed to be sitting, and the stake is over here now. Okay, so that's why I'm like really confused with the glass. Like, if the glass was not important, to the case, then why was her, like, his glass moved in front of the stake, and why is he moved in front of the stake? All right, so based on what I'm thinking here is the glass is significant because by removing it, it sets the table up to look like it only had one person, and by her conveniently being removed from the scene and conveniently having a thing to do. Think it's working? I'm trying to monologue here.
Pointing. Haha, just kidding.
Think it's working. So by conveniently having all that set up, it makes it look like there was one person here, and they were going to try to hide her unless it was absolutely necessary for her to show up to trial, and then be like, oh, I just removed it because of this. I'm going for it. If you ask me, it's the fact that she took the glass that has a deeper significance here. Why do you think that? Because it's the property of the restaurant. It's not some harmless act of pilfering, like taking a bar of soap home from a public bath. You take some soap from a public bath? What? No. I mean, that isn't significant here. It's very significant, but this isn't the time for that, please. More important things to concentrate on now. No! I know what I'm trying to do. I know what I want to do. Let me talk about this. Then it's her handbag, because it's not nothing. There's some significance here. Like, why would she be so focused on trying to take her glass with her? That makes no sense. Wait, they put her glass in her handbag, you say? Yes. Do you keep up? Try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlemen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Mistress stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag. In it, which would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. That's part of it too. But seriously, removing the glass changes the whole setting of the table. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. A gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up a gun from the restaurant floor. And he didn't fire that gun. We can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't be seriously suggesting. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Did you or did you not search Ms. Jesselyn Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No. No, sir, I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No! Order in the court. What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ryuichi? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag to show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bludgeoning incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Yeah, we have to remain silent. That statement has not been said in this game, Sorka. Is that a real swan? It is not. That's as far as we can tell. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have the chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. Nope. I have no faith in the police here. Simply because it was unnecessary. On what grounds? Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. How convenient. How convenient. This photographic print. The photographic print that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. Oh, he's got a tattoo on him. What is that? Is that a tattoo I saw? As you can see, it shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never. The gun is in her hair, or in her hat. Come on. You can see right through what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping prove that, Naruhodo-san. He knows. He's gotta know she has a gun. Order. Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine a witness, counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted to the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Indeed. And there's only one logical conclusion.